OCLionsFan.com, and Ron from City Soccer Talk. We're the tag team this week. We didn't even try and get a third because, we just got this handled. And anyways, we are previewing the match for Wednesday night's game versus Colorado. That's going to be June 24th. It's Orlando's first Wednesday night game at home, so hopefully everybody turns out. I think we sold a bunch of tickets already. Anyway, as most of you should know, Colorado sucks. They have 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5. They have the least amount of points in the MLS other than Chicago. They have 15 points. They can't really score. They are led by a guy named Gabriel Torres. He has 4 goals for them, and he's the only one who has played 16 games. And Ron's with us as usual. It's, Ron's show too, so he'll be here. He's going to talk about, Colorado really briefly, just some basics about them for you guys. I'll come back with some quick stats on Colorado, and then we'll jump into what everybody wants to hear, and that is our opinion about Orlando City. So, Ron, you can take the floor.
Well, Colorado's an interesting matchup. We might be getting them at a good time coming off that tough loss. They don't score a lot of goals. They'll come out in a 4-2-3-1 formation. They've played that every single match, and they're probably going to try to eke out a 1-0 victory, which is probably what we're going to have to do too. There's probably not going to be a lot of goals in this one, but they do have a good defense. They're going to frustrate us, probably try to jam the middle like most teams do, and it's going to be one of those grinded out games.
All right, and just touch a little more about Colorado. They have 2 designated players. One's name is Kevin Doyle. I personally have heard of him from international soccer. He's only made 4 appearances for them. I believe he started the season injured. And their second designated player is Julian Jimenez. Pardon me if I pronounced that wrong. And he's been injured for 2 weeks, so we won't see him. Doyle's made a couple late game substitutions and started 1 game in the last month. So, I don't think their designated players are really anybody to be scared of. I'm sure Doyle has a lucky goal in him when he plays us, but that's just the luck that we get. So we'll jump right to Orlando City. Ron, what do you think about our formation this week? We have a couple players coming off big pile of minutes, short rest. Do you see any changes? You can talk about anywhere, and we can just, flow the conversation from there.
Well, the formation's going to stay the same, obviously, 4-2-3-1. Maybe there's a potential that Luke Bodden gets the night off if he's unable to go. But I think if he can go, he'll tough it out again. If he can't, they'll have to move Shea back there and probably plug Rivas in at left mid. But I'm going to assume Luke Bodden starts. Now we know Aurelian Collin probably most likely won't be playing. But we'll bring in Seb Hines. He's a perfectly capable replacement. It's not as good as Collin, but it's an area where we have some depth. As far as the rest of the lineup, I think you'll see Avila come back in at right mid. I have no idea why Neil started at right mid last game. I know none of us are that excited about Avila, but I don't know that there's a better option at the moment, as sad as that is. And then I think we might see Ribeiro start as our strikers start to rotate from a game-to-game basis.
I 100% agree with Ron about Ribeiro. I thought he came on at the end of last week and, had a couple great chances. So hopefully he's on all of this game or, majority of the game and can keep up working well with Kaká. And, he brings the ball down so well, and his first touch appears to be pretty good to me. So, I really like that about Ribeiro. And then his size is just imposing. I share the same sentiments with Ron about the concern about Bowden and his minutes. I think I lean a little more to thinking that Bowden might get a night off and Shea might play at left back, but that's just a feeling that I have. I don't have any inside information. This is just fan TV, and I'm not a reporter or anything. So with that said, I think that Rivas will start. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know Rivas is a field goal kicker when he gets the touch, but he's at least scored some goals for us. I mean, they were in Open Cup, and they were, penalty kicks, but that's still more goals than Shea scored for us. So, we have no scoring from really either side of our wings, and I find it quite troubling, especially coming off short rest. I really don't see anything really too crazy happening with the lineup. I don't like calling out. I know that I agree with Ron, and I don't think that it's a big drop off. I think that if we had an injury somewhere else, we would suffer much more than having Hines and St. Ledger. We've seen Hines and St. Ledger before, and we know that it is formidable. So moving on, I just wanted to talk about, since Ron touched on it and I followed up, let's just keep talking about Shea. Why do you think he was so bad last game? I know he's been coming off coming back from the national team, but he didn't play in Charleston any minutes. And then last week, I personally didn't think he was anything special. And I'm starting at the beginning of the season. I called for him to go to the wing. Then he moved up and he played good, and then he went out, and now he's back and he's not playing good. It just seems like, Breck Shea, where are you, Breck Shea? Where's Breck Shea that MLS knows from Dallas? I mean, he's not hurt. He's just out of form. So what do you think attributes to that, Ron?
Well, first of all, it was really disappointing to see the guys that were rested against Charleston were the worst against Montreal. You can blame that result a little bit on fatigue, but
yeah, Kaká was terrible too.
Yeah, I mean, Kaká and Shea were both rested, and they were the worst two players on the field by a mile. The problem with Breck Shea, first of all, I don't think as highly of him as maybe the rest of the fan base, but I think he's your classic tweener, as they might use in like an American football term. He doesn't seem to have a position that fits him really, really well. He plays okay at left back, he plays okay at left mid, but he doesn't seem to excel anywhere. I think the philosophy and our style of play isn't helping him excel. I don't know how they change that without a drastic tactical change. I don't know that you should do that just to benefit Breck Shea. But clearly he's been bad, and Kaká's been awful. Really for the last month. I mean, if he didn't have 3 PKs to bury, I mean, he's one of the worst players on the field right now, and that's we're not going very far with those two players out of form.
I agree about Breck Shea. Obviously, I started that conversation, but I don't think Kaká's been good, but I also think that the other teams do plan for Kaká, and the player that they're trying to stop on our team is Kaká. Everybody knows he's, really our only world-class player. So if you want to consider him world-class at this point, I mean, that's up for debate as well. But for the sake of conversation, he's our only world-class player. So, I think, if he was left open and people did give him space, I think he would be producing a little bit more. We saw against LA where, he, for some reason, they didn't just bog him up, and he created all kinds of chances there, and, we won big. So, that would be why I think why I think Kaká is playing so bad, just because he's getting game planned for. And, if you plan to take anybody out of the game, then they're going to be taken out. What do you have any follow-up comments about Kaká?
Well, I mean, clearly you're right. I mean, part of Kaká's problem is he's not getting a lot of help. And, I mean, nobody's really getting a lot of help. That's why I thought they all looked I thought that's why none of them looked good on Saturday. We're not getting runs from midfielders deep or behind the defense. They're all square. They're all laterally to Kaká, and the offense just doesn't go anywhere. When we get around the box, it's perimeter passing all around the edge of the box. There's no darting runs in the middle. The only way we can seem to score a goal from open play is if Ribeiro or Larin just latch onto one. And there's not even an assist involved. This team has 9 assists all year, and 3 of them came in one game against Galaxy. I mean, this team cannot pass the ball and shoot the ball in goal. It's either a PK or, it's Ribeiro and Larin coming up with some magic, but it's disheartening to watch right
now. I didn't even know we had so few assists, to be honest with you. So that's, I find that a little troubling. There's Ron dropping some knowledge on you guys. So only 9 assists for the team all year. I
mean, Kevin Molino is tied for second on this team in assists with 1, and he hasn't played in 2 months.
So, Yeah, I mean, that's we touched it briefly. We just need someone who can make some plays in the midfield. I mean, I don't care where it comes from, but someone needs to step up, whether it's somebody we have or whether we get, an MLS player or an international player if possible. I don't really know. I'm like I said, I don't have any inside information as much as I would like to have inside information, and you make so you could only get it from me, but that's just wishful thinking. Anyway, I guess, Ron, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I mean, we could talk about how poorly we looked, but I think everybody already knows that. And this is a preview, not a review, so it's totally up to you.
Well, just one last point. I don't want to completely overreact or panic after the hiccup in Montreal. That's a really tough place to play. But so going forward, maybe we see a completely different team this week, and maybe we're just bitching for no reason. But I think there are some problems that have plagued this team for a long time, and I haven't really seen a lot of progression lately. But going forward, they have a chance to rebound against Colorado, and they need to, because the East is so tight right now that one win and you're looking great, one loss and you're almost out of the playoffs.
So we will just jump right in to projections. I believe we were both wrong last game, and I went first, so I'll let Ron go first this week.
Okay, I do not see a lot of goals in this one. Colorado scores about 0.8 goals a game, something like that. I think they give up about 0.8 goals a game. So it's probably going to be a 0-0 or a 1-1 draw. I am picking a draw. If Orlando City wants to win this one, they're most likely going to have to keep a clean sheet. But I'm going to say 1-1.
All right. Well, my closing stat for you guys is Colorado has only scored more than one goal twice. They got a 4-0 win at Dallas, and they got a 4-0 win in Open Cup, whatever, last week or 2 weeks ago versus Colorado Springs. Ooh. So I don't think that they're going to score. And I think that we are going to score. I think the crowd is going to play a huge part in this game for us, because I think, we needed to play a part this week. We looked flat last week away, so we'll come home. The Wall, the ILF, the Ruckus, they'll all sing and cheer the whole game like they always do. And I got a Lions win. I'm bringing out the hat for the win. Lions win. We got this. Orlando City, hey. So we're going to go 2-0. I'm just feeling good about it. I don't think last week's anything to, be disturbed about. I'm putting on the hat because I want extra team spirit out of everybody who watches, because they need us this week, guys. They need to come home. We need to support them after a tough loss. We need to be there for them. We need to sing. We need to chant. For those of you who know the chants and can chant, if not, look them up. I don't know. I don't care. Just clap and scream, whatever you got to do. The team needs us this week, so let's be there for them, guys. I got it. Orlando City's, we're turning it around. 2-0 Orlando City win. Go Lions. Oh, and guys, I am not able to go to the game, so do not go to Gate C after. I will not be doing fan cam. I'm really sorry, guys. I honestly, I feel bad. I just won't be able to make the game this week. So, I'm still here doing the match preview for you. Ron's still writing great articles at citysoccertalk.com, or find him on Twitter. You don't have my little thing that surrounds my face most of the time, but I'm at OCLionsFan_TV on Twitter, or OCLionsFan.com. Sorry about missing fan cam. I know that's like the whole principle of my site, and I just do match preview because I like doing it. So kind of feel like a schmuck. But anyways, thanks, guys. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the watch. Make sure you read Ron's articles. We will be back before Columbus. Go Lions.
All right. See you guys.